If you've ever thrown a ball and watched your dog sprint after it like their life depends on it, you've probably wondered, why do dogs love fetch so much? It's one of those universal truths of dog ownership. You toss, they chase. You toss again and again and again, and they never seem to get tired of it. But there's actually fascinating science behind this simple game that explains why fetch triggers such pure joy and excitement in dogs. To understand this obsession, we need to look back thousands of years to the origins of the domestic dog. Modern dogs share about 99% of their DNA with wolves. And while wolves don't play fetch, they do have strong predatory instincts: chasing, catching, and retrieving prey. Over centuries of evolution, humans selectively bred dogs to enhance certain traits, and one of those was the instinct to chase moving objects. For retriever breeds like Labradors, Golden Retrievers, and Spaniels, fetch isn't just fun, it's written in their DNA. They were literally born to chase, grab, and bring back. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The act of chasing and catching a moving object triggers your dog, as prey, drive an instinctive sequence that includes stalking, chasing, biting, and retrieving. When you throw a ball, you're mimicking prey movement fast, unpredictable, and exciting. This activates their brain's reward system, flooding it with dopamine, the same chemical that gives humans a rush when they win a game or achieve a goal. That's why dogs get that sparkle in their eyes and wag their tails wildly. It feels good to chase. Fetch also satisfies another important psychological need for dogs: purpose and accomplishment. When your dog successfully retrieves the ball and brings it back to you, they experience a sense of fulfillment. It's a mini victory, a successful hunt. In their mind, they've completed a mission and earned your approval, which further reinforces their desire to repeat the behavior. But not all dogs love fetch equally, and that's because breed and genetics play a massive role. Retrievers, collies, and shepherds are hardwired for chasing and fetching, while breeds like bulldogs or basset hounds may not be as interested, and that's totally natural. These dogs were bred for other jobs, like guarding, tracking scents, or companionship. So if your dog isn't obsessed with fetch, it doesn't mean something's wrong, it just means their instincts are wired differently. Beyond genetics, bonding and communication are another reason dogs go wild for fetch. When you play fetch with your dog, you're engaging in cooperative play, something that strengthens your relationship. The back and forth of throwing and retrieving builds trust and mutual understanding. Your dog learns to read your movements and respond to your cues, which deepens their sense of connection with you. It's like a language you both understand without words, the language of play. Interestingly, scientists have found that dogs who regularly engage in interactive play with their owners, like fetch, show lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and higher levels of oxytocin, the love hormone. This means fetch doesn't just make dogs happy. It literally helps them feel calmer, safer, and more bonded to their human family. Fetch also gives dogs a mental workout. While it might look like just running and catching, it actually involves concentration, coordination, and problem-solving. Dogs have to track the ball's movement, calculate its direction, adjust their speed, and then locate it using both sight and smell. For dogs with high energy levels, this mental stimulation is just as important as physical exercise. That's why fetch is often recommended by veterinarians and behaviorists as one of the best ways to keep dogs both physically fit and mentally sharp. Now that we know fetch taps into a dog's instincts, emotions, and brain chemistry, let's dig deeper into what actually happens inside their mind when the ball starts flying. When you grab that tennis ball, your dog's brain lights up with anticipation. Studies using MRI scans show that dogs have a strong response in the caudate nucleus, the area associated with reward and pleasure, even before the ball is thrown. This anticipation alone releases dopamine, the same chemical that gives humans the feeling of excitement before something fun happens. So, when you say fetch, your dog's brain is already celebrating. Once the ball is thrown, another system kicks in the instinctive chase response. This is part of the predatory motor pattern that many carnivores have, but in domestic dogs, especially retrievers and herding breeds, it's been modified to remove aggression and emphasize the chase and retrieve parts. In simple terms, dogs get all the excitement of the hunt without the harm. That's one reason fetch is so satisfying. It lets them act out their natural instincts in a safe and playful way. But fetch isn't just a mindless game. Dogs actually learn problem-solving skills through it. For instance, when a ball bounces unpredictably, dogs use their memory and vision to predict where it will land. Their brains combine scent tracking, auditory cues, and motion detection to zero in on their target. This kind of mental stimulation helps reduce boredom, which is one of the main causes of destructive behavior in dogs. A dog that plays fetch regularly is more likely to be calm, focused, and well-behaved indoors. And here, something even more fascinating: fetch can help improve a dog's confidence and obedience. Many trainers use fetch as a form of positive reinforcement. Every successful retrieve becomes a small victory that builds your dog's self-esteem. Commands like sit, stay, and drop it can be naturally incorporated into the game, helping reinforce discipline while keeping the experience fun. This turns fetch from just a game into a valuable training tool. However, it's also important to remember that too much fetch can sometimes lead to overstimulation. Some dogs, especially high-energy breeds like Border Collies or Belgian Malinois, can become obsessed with the game, fixating on the ball to the point of exhaustion. Veterinarians recommend balancing fetch with other forms of play like tug, scent games, or agility training to keep your dog's body and mind healthy. There's also the physical side to consider. Fetch provides an excellent cardiovascular workout for dogs, helping maintain muscle tone, stamina, and joint health. But just like humans, dogs need proper warm-ups and cool-downs. Repetitive high-speed sprints can strain muscles or joints, particularly in older dogs or breeds prone to hip problems. To prevent injury, it's best to play on soft surfaces like grass rather than concrete, and to keep the sessions short but frequent. And it's not just dogs that benefit. Fetch strengthens the human-animal bond in remarkable ways. When your dog returns the ball and looks up at you, their brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone that strengthens emotional bonds between humans. Your brain releases oxytocin, too. This creates a feedback loop of love and trust that deepens every time you play together. That's why fetch isn't just a physical activity. It as a shared moment of joy and connection. Scientists also believe that the reason dogs love fetch so much has to do with how they interpret human cues and cooperation. Unlike wolves, dogs evolved alongside humans to work together, read gestures, and anticipate our actions. When you throw the ball, your dog sees it not as a solitary act but as teamwork. You throw, they chase, they return, and you repeat. This cooperation fulfills their need to work alongside their pack leader, you. So the next time you throw a ball and your dog bolts after it with unstoppable excitement, remember, it's not just a game. It's an instinctive, emotional, and scientific experience rolled into one. Fetch triggers ancient hunting instincts, strengthens your bond, releases happy brain chemicals, and keeps your dog mentally sharp and physically fit. In other words, that wagging tail and eager bark are not just signs of fun, they're proof that deep inside every dog, there's still a little bit of the wild hunter, thrilled by the chase and overjoyed by the connection they share with you.